is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And we will start with the big stories, and after the big stories, we'll have a conversation by 4. Of course, the political drama in Rivers State continues. You now know that the Supreme Court has given its judgment. How does that judgment affect the Abuja Accord, like I like to call it, the Abuja Accord that was, agreed upon a few weeks or months ago? The 5 o'clock hour, still more conversations, and this time we'll be looking at the court's case where Edison here has been mentioned as the destruction of a portion of the House of Assembly complex. We'll look at that as well. We'll talk with the security expert on that one, and I look forward to your thoughts, basically, because this is a conversation for development. And it can only be a conversation for development when we get the various opinions out there. And so I look forward to your opinion and your thoughts on this very one. Welcome. So let's quickly get to the big stories. Remember, I am Kalada Kurubatubo. This is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And it is time for the big stories, okay? My first big story is, one of the biggest stories in Nigeria today. And it is that the Supreme Court has upheld the election of Governor Siminalayi Fubara, His Excellency. The Supreme Court justices said that Tony Cole's petition was lacking in merit, as he did not prove beyond reasonable doubt some of the allegations he made, and allegations like overvoting, some of the allegations made in that petition. So I'm going to read from our in-house bulletin. He says, the Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Siminalayi Fubara as governor of Rivers State. In the judgment delivered today, the 5-member Apex Court panel headed by Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun dismissed the appeal of the APC candidate Hoyekol for lacking in merit. The Supreme Court also upheld the decision of the appellate court on grounds that the APC governorship candidate failed to prove his allegations of overvoting and non-compliance leveled against the Rivers State governor. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the Supreme Court judgment affirming his election will refresh his strength to continue governance. The governor said this in reaction to the Supreme Court judgment. The governor also thanked President Tinubu and the Minister of the FCT for their roles in the victory. So let's take a listen to what the governor said just immediately after the Supreme Court verdict.
It's important for us to note that we need this victory to consolidate on the purpose of governance. We have had a few distractions. The good news that came to us is a refreshing strength that will ginger us to continue the work of governance. I want to commend the President for his fatherly role on not just the crisis, but also this particular litigation. It will also be unfair for me not to appreciate the Minister, my Oga. I want to say thank you for all their support.
The Minister, my Oga. Okay. There are other things. He also thanked Rivers people and those who stood by him during the political crisis in the state. He also called on his political opponents to collaborate with his administration for the development of the state. Let's take a listen to that one as well.
And I want everybody to realize that Rivers State will have a dream of making it a highly competitive state that will measure, if not up to Lagos, but close to Lagos. We can only achieve this in an atmosphere of peace. So I'm calling on everyone, not just our own internal issue, but also those other people from other parties. The issue is settled. Come and let's build that River State of our dream.
I hope the governor can, upscale that vision. We should be, competing with Lagos and above Lagos, as a matter of fact, because we've got the potential. But anyways, that's not the focus. That's not the focus. I hear civil servants were celebrating, were dancing, were jubilating as a result of the Supreme Court verdict. Let's take a listen. So there was some kind of party amongst civil servants in Rivers State. They are really solidly behind the governor. However, you listening to me, how are you reacting? How are you, reacting to the Supreme Court judgment? I'd like to hear. For you, is this the end of all the distractions, and now can the governor focus? Can the governor give to the people, you and I, the dividends of democracy, the dividends of good governance? And if you say yes, what are the things you would like him to focus on? What are the things you would like him to put government's attention on? I'd like to hear. But let's now quickly move on to the next one. And the next one, it's I don't know how to explain it. But you know how we can be very religious in Nigeria, right? So you hear comments like we're more Catholic than the Pope, and we are more, there's a word for it, there's a way to put it, we're more religious than, Mecca. So we're very religious set of people. We can see it in the kind of worship centers we have, whether it be the Muslim religion or the Islamic religion or the Christian religion. And so it's no wonder when a popular pastor made a comment, was it yesterday or the day before, a lot of the blogs carried it, a lot of, some newspapers carried it, some news platforms carried it. And this popular, you would recognize his voice when I play the sound bite. This popular pastor said that the political problem with Evelyn Rivers State is not really a political problem, but a spiritual problem. He said the problem has been there since 1999. That after, although he didn't mention the state, but of course we could glean from the comments or the comment or the statement that he possibly was referring to Rivers State. Now, he said that the state the state has over the years had 4 governors or thereabout, and each governor fought his predecessor. And he said it's a spiritual thing.
This is in a state, and I won't call the name of the state, they can never solve it physically because it's a spiritual crisis. I spoke to one of them, I said, it is not a physical crisis. From everybody who has been there to that one will always fight to the next one. It has been 4 generations they've been fighting each other. So it has to be broken. No physical means, no president can solve it. It's a spiritual problem. And I'm privileged to know it.
Do you agree? Should we pray? Because you and I, we've been talking about this political drama for about 4 months, if not more. And then the back and the forth. This one said, this one did not say. The court cases, the president's interference. We've been talking about all of these things. We're still talking about it. We will still talk about it today. But however, this man of God is saying, this cleric is saying that it's not a physical problem. We've had about 4 governors since 1999, and each of them have fought their predecessor. Apart from the first one, of course, apart from the governor who was elected in 1999, the next one fought him. The one that came after, the second generation governor since 1999 fought, the one before him, and now this one. That's what he's saying. That's what he's trying to say. Do you agree it's a spiritual thing, or do you think it's the quest for power in Rivers State is so high that the politicians think, if I don't get it, nobody should get it? Do you think it's more of a mental thing? It's more of a psychological thing where people have become so drunk with power, permit me to put it that way. People have become so, you see it in Rivers State a lot. Let's leave the politicians alone. Even in our daily activities, we're always trying to show off. We're always trying to show we're better than the next. We're always trying to show that, we are the big boys in town. So could it be more of a mental thing, more of a psychological thing? Or do you agree with the man of God. Like I said, you would have recognized his voice when I played the soundbite. He said it is more of a spiritual matter. If it is, then we should all come and pray. Maybe on Hard Facts, one of these days, we'll just have prayers. And because we've been hearing pray, if not from the president, from the Senate president, if not from the Senate president, from one politician. Now this man of God is telling us that, I mean, we've had other men of God say pray for Nigeria before now, but he's saying it's a spiritual thing, and I'm guessing we would have to go spiritual for peace to return in Rivers State. But let's go on now to the next big story, and the next big story is a story that has been trending for days now, and I did not deem it fit up until I think yesterday. And why did I not deem it fit? So there have been conversations about relocating FAN, which is the agency in the aviation sector, relocating it back. Now, emphasis on the word back to Lagos State, because it was in Lagos State, but Adisirika, which is the immediate former aviation minister, had relocated it to Abuja during Buhari's time as president. And now, people in Tinubu's government or administration, most especially, what's his name now, the aviation minister, his name just skipped my head, the man from Delta. When I remember his name, I'll tell you. He thought it wise to relocate the agency to Lagos, back to Lagos, FAN that is. He thought it wise to relocate it back to Lagos, and he also said for better, not him now, other people in government, for better administration of the CBN, that certain sensitive officers should relocate to Lagos as well. Now, that has been interpreted by some politicians in the northern part of the country to mean that the president is looking at equipping, can I use that word now, is looking at relocating some juicy or major agencies or positions to relocate the capital to the states. Back and forth. Ibiyeomie, I mentioned him in passing yesterday, has been one of the northerners in the news most recently, who has been very vociferous as it relates to the relocation of FAN and some departments of the CBN. And he said that Tinubu is being ill-advised, is being wrongly advised, and it should not be relocated. He said because Lagos is economically viable, the most economically viable state, does not mean that these agencies should be located in Lagos State. He said if that be the case, if it was because of congestion, why did they not take some of these departments or FAN itself to neighboring states like Nasarawa, Kaduna? He mentioned some few states. However, the presidency has now replied, and they are saying that the people who are arguing and debating that the relocation or the movement of these agencies to Lagos State is relocating the federal capital are just trying to be tribal and ethnic, and they're trying to incite the polity. And some people, like, the IYC chairperson, Ijo Youth Council, I believe, and there's another name that just skipped my head. Yeah, the APC former deputy, I can't remember, is it national chairman, something like that, Nabena, has also come out to say, okay, fine, since you want to relocate some departments of the CBN and FAN to Lagos State, also bring the oil companies or the agencies related to the oil and gas sector to the Niger Delta, like NNPCL. Let it have its headquarters in the Niger Delta. He also said oil companies, they all argued that oil companies should also come to the Niger Delta. I think there was a conversation like that on the Morning Crossfire this morning. And I want to get your thought on that, because for me, it really is not a big deal if, their positioning in Lagos will bring about a optimal operation, and it's all about ensuring that you and I enjoy the dividends, enjoy the benefits of governance, of democracy, not about where it's located. Of course, I understand that, if it is located in these places, the places where it is eventually located, there will be a lot of job creation. There will be a lot of, job opportunities for the locals. I get all of that part. I understand that. But as long as it is it's optimally operational, then I think it's a good move. However, what do you make of this argument? Because the argument has been raging on since over the weekend. Now we are now in Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. It will now be 1 week since the argument started. So I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, I'm asking the question, what do you make of this? Is this really a big deal? Do you see some ethnic thing, political thing? Do you see some, anything in the movement of the CBN department and fund to Lagos State? I mean, do you see anything tribal? Do you see it? I mean, what are you reading? That's the question I'm trying to ask. What are you reading from all of these things? Because I don't know. I'm more for optimal services and optimal profits on behalf of the people. So I'm going to go to the phone lines now because it is 29 minutes gone past the hour of 3. Yes, it's the bottom of the hour and it's time for you and I to talk. So all you have to do is dial the numbers. I hear that the smart number has collapsed again, so we're going to try to resurrect the smart number. But for now, let's go back to the GSM lines. 0817 923 0002 is the first number to call. I've got 0817 923 0003. That's the second number to call. And I've got the third one, 0817 923 0007. Let's try and keep our contributions concise, and let's make sure that we do not in any way use languages or words that are not radio friendly. Irrespective of who you want to refer to or criticize, try to be decent with your words and decent in your contributions. I'm Kaladako Rubatabo. You're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you all. All right, the phone lines are open. Remember, we also have WhatsApp 0809-030-6416 is the number, and we're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH, live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, active on X, Nigeria Info PH. Let's take the first call now. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution.
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Christian.
Your name is?
Christian.
All right, Christian.
I'm from Nashville.
Okay, welcome. Line
I
is not so
want
clear.
to, first of all, congratulate our governor for his people. And that's to me, this is the best and the most.
Please, you would have to call us back. The line is not that clear. Sorry about that. Hello?
Hello, Commander. Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome. What is your name, your location, your contribution?
Yeah, my name is Comrade Clinton.
All right.
I'm calling from Bury.
Please turn off your radio, please.
All right. First, I want to thank God Almighty for granting Rivers people their prayers. Rivers people can now breathe.
Okay.
The litigations are over. And I want to especially congratulate the Rivers people governor. That's His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara. He can now settle down and focus on the governance of Rivers State. You should look at those areas that are devoid of development. The Ogun area will be development. In terms of human capacity building, there are no jobs in the state. You should look for ways to revisit the employment that we are stored and give Rivers youth that are standing by him joy from supporting him. So I congratulate him. He is a very smart man. He went further to appreciate the president as well as his former boss, that's the Minister of FCT. A smart man. Secondly, relocating FAN and CBN to Lagos, for me, I am not okay with it. I'm not okay with it because everything cannot be centralized in Lagos.
Remember, when you're doing all this, you're also increasing the IGR of the state.
Okay.
There are other states that should also benefit. If he's doing that, he should also look at ways that he can bring back the headquarters of the multinationals. Because that's where they get the oil from.
Okay.
But they move to Lagos. All these are contributing to the IGR of Lagos. So they should bring some of these things back to the Niger region. Go here, we have land. They should bring it here so that we can benefit as well. Then finally, Nigerians are very religious people, Canada. Very religious people. Yet we have a forest. So we accredit everything to religion. So I don't really think that Rivers' problem is a religious problem. I think it's a political problem.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on now. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution. I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kalada.
Yeah, greetings. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm calling from Dila.
All right, welcome, Frank.
Let me first of all congratulate my able governor, Siminalayi Fubara, for his victory today in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And my appeal to him is that as he has won the final battle, let him not listen to anyone that will come and tell him, go and fight Mr. A, go and fight Mr. B. What is that now for him to develop River State? That's the only fight he had not for him to fight. So I thank the River people for their support during this fight. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. What's your name?
I'm on Nigeria.
Yes. 92.3 Nigeria Info. What's your name, your location, your contribution?
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so what's your name, your location, your contribution, please?
Yeah, my name is Chinasaye Shimado.
All right, Chinasa,
and I'm
welcome.
calling you from a warfare.
All right, Chinasa, welcome.
But I just have a question I'd like to ask. What is the main reason given for relocating funds from Abuja to Lagos?
I just made it obvious now, for fun, for instance, operational purposes.
Operational purposes?
Yes, operational purposes.
All right. If that's the case, of course, we're not looking at this from ethnic or whatever perspective. But it is also good for those of us that are calling that multinational companies like the oil companies should also relocate here to the Niger Delta area. Port Harcourt, River State, Delta State, something like that, for easy operational purpose also. Because this is the base, this is where they get their results to produce. And that's what I think. Thank you. My name is Chinasa.
All right, thank you very much, Chinasa. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hi, KDB. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name, your location, your contribution, please.
Yeah, my name is Miriam, the Africa woman.
Good to have you.
Look, KDB, I'm so excited, so happy this afternoon. Honestly, I'm so happy. But Calabar, I'm not surprised about the victory of the governor.
Okay.
You know why?
You tell me.
The people, the judges there in the Supreme Court, they are mostly elderly. They are elderly people, and they know. Look, when they pass judgment, their ears and their eyes will be in that state. And when you view and you see that even members of the political party that brought the governor to court are supporting the governor, they are on the part of the governor, they are encouraging him. So how will you not rule against that kind of governor? So I think they just listen to the yearning.
You think Miriam, pause. Do you think justices of Supreme Court will actually look at sentiments and emotions of the people? Is that what you are implying? I'm wondering.
Oh, I'm not implying that, Kalada, but Kalada, you say that the members of the political party are you? Do you have it? No, look, okay, let me not go there. Okay, they did the right thing. They didn't listen to our emotions. They just passed the right judgment. Let's leave it at that. But Kalada, I want to plead with the governor not Kalada, not to repeat the same mistake.
Okay.
Do you know that what I'm saying is that not the kind of insult that he received from days back, the governor should not let history repeat itself.
Okay.
Look, a German are drunk, Canada.
Are you playing the ethnic card now? Are you?
No, Canada, we cannot. No, I'm not. But the governor should know that we cannot have your subordinate insult you like that and you let it go scot-free. Look, you're not setting a good precedent for the order of your workers. These are your subordinates. They should respect you. Now, when we talk about the Lagos State, will not happen. If you want to take a federal capital territory to anywhere else, it should be here in River State. What are you telling me? You should bring it to the Niger Delta State, the state that is contributing more to the national, to the pulse of the nation. You will not take it back to Lagos.
But it was in Lagos. FAN was in Lagos. So they're just only relocating it back because Adi Sirika, who was aviation minister, moved it to Abuja.
Oh, Calabar, they should not relocate everything to Lagos. Rather, they should remove some things there. Lagos is too overcrowded. Look, there's so much in Lagos place. The pollution, so many industries is causing so much pollution. They should relieve Lagos of some of these offices, especially Lagos and Niger Delta State will be controlling our head office of NNPC will be there.
Okay. But maybe I should mention to you, Muriel, that some of the aviation unions are happy about the relocation. Even FAN some days ago, 1 week ago, also mentioned that it will reduce the cost of operations. So they also lauded the relocation to Lagos. I'm listening.
I understand what they are saying. Did you know why, Calabar? There are Lagos receiving so many privileges. You know that they close our ports here, and some of the states from operating medley. Why the ports in Lagos are open? So many privileges are being given to Lagos. To take business is so profitable. So why don't you extend those privileges to other states? Yet you think that Lagos is so far. Lagos is really compare us with Lagos, and yet you are giving them so much privileges. Look, if the government is considering moving the capital territory, it should be here in River State.
All right then. Thank you very much. My goodness. Hello, welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? And of course, your contribution. Anybody home? Okay. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm calling from Eche.
All right, all the way from Eche. Let's get your thoughts then.
Yes. For the judgment of the Supreme Court is a welcome development for the governor to focus on the governance of River State.
Okay.
And the fight of the political fight in River State is not spiritual.
Okay.
It's just that sometimes the politicians, they are trying to confuse the people out there.
So you don't agree the spiritual controls the physical? Is that not a thing?
It's not a spiritual fight. It's a political fight. Confusing people out there, thinking that they are fighting, but after everything, they will go to somewhere and meet and be laughing at us. So that is the second governor of River State fought the third one fought the fourth one. See that? I'm not sure if they are not meeting somewhere drinking and chatting together. we that are outside will be thinking that they are fighting. They are making the money there from the office. After everything, they will go to somewhere and be laughing at us. So thank you.
All right then. Thank you very much. Let's take this one. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
The aspect of you, the fight is spiritual. It's not spiritual.
Okay.
It's not spiritual. These are just mature people just want to cause problem. Who are just so greedy not to manage their greed, sentiment, and hate. I'm just telling you the truth. It's nothing spiritual. And I also want to use this day to appreciate the governor of River State. That mere fact to appreciate and reverence, let me use the word reverence, is elders. That is how leaders should go. If every other leader in River State is as humble as Governor Siminalayi Fubara to respect his elders, will you see this problem? He respects his elders, but those other ones who have caused this problem, that the spiritual father is claiming is spiritual, I don't think all this thing will happen. And do you know that this issue of this Lagos, moving these items to Lagos, this is a political war.
Okay, so you think it's political? There's a political.
Tell you, how come Port Harcourt port is not working, but Lagos port is working? Lagos port is congested.
I should mention that the fan was headquartered in Lagos before Buhari's time. So
we were told every parastatal headquarters should move to Abuja. These things were done at the Presidency. What in 1992 or thereabouts? Every head should move to Abuja.
But for operational purposes, you can't necessarily move.
These bodies they ask to move to Lagos is deliberate. Look at the Niger Delta region. I stand to challenge anybody. Was there any crisis in the Niger Delta region? And is there any agitation? Was there any agitation? There was never any agitation in the Niger Delta region. Anybody that have to listen to me now, it was politically motivated to remove all the companies from the Niger Delta to Lagos. Our own brothers were paid to do this dirty job, and they did it, and the companies left. Now they call it that they're not in Lagos. Do you know that the crime in Lagos is even worse than the one in Nigeria?
All right, Zion, I've got to go now. But thank you very much for your time. I've got many more calls, but I will go back to the phone lines after reading some messages, and let's start with reading messages on Facebook. Thank God, Ability Azwebu says, congratulations to Governor Sim Fubara, and congratulations to all the Rivers sons and daughters, including the non-indigents living in River State. The wonderful God has done it for us. Naomi Baratam says, good afternoon, Kalada. Supreme Court opposed the election of Sim Fubara. Let me use this opportunity to say a very happy new year to the good people of River State, and congratulations to our Governor Sim Fubara. And then you said the crisis rocking River State is spiritual. It is spiritual because I remember the same pastor raised a lamb years back before the administration of the previous government. If not on air, I would quote exactly what he said. The video clip is online. God bless River State. Sam Brown, in as much as I want to comment on the man of God's assassin, the present political crisis in the state couldn't have a reason or happened. Where's the message now? It's just disappeared, I guess. Okay, I just have to look for it because more messages are pouring in. Where is it now? Okay, yeah. So he said it couldn't have a reason or happen if there wasn't the overbearing and insatiable desire for selfish control of political power and greed. The present governor isn't known to be fighting his predecessors, so I don't see the spiritual connection here. My 10 pence. David Briggs is asking, what happened in Supreme Court? Someone should update me. So can someone go on Facebook and update him, please? Wisdom, where is it now? Where is it? Wisdom Joseph. Good afternoon, Carl. Wisdom J from Iwafe. As per the Supreme Court judgment, I would first like to congratulate the executive governor of Rivers State for his victory. However, I would like to tell Rivers people not to overdo with respect to the politics of Rivers, because the governor acknowledged the effort of his Oga for his victory. I think these people know what they're doing, and innocent Rivers people are just wasting their time picking tents on both the governor and his Oga. Indeed, now father and Pekin matter be this. Jimbo Baraye Caribon Nelson on Facebook said the victory of the People's Democratic Party at the Supreme Court over the governorship election in Rivers State is outright victory for the marginalized citizens of the state since 1999 of democratic governance. What happened at the Supreme Court is a lesson for all of us. I know that it means well for everyone. To the best of my knowledge, Governor Fubara, he will perform excellently to the glory of God, and wish him the best in his endeavors for the betterment and development of our beloved state. Jimbo Baraye Caribon Nelson from Ogu Town. All right. Newton Ikura says, congratulations to Governor Sim Fubara. Peace be upon River State. Those are some of the messages I can read from the Facebook portal. Let's quickly run to WhatsApp and read some messages. Oyigbo Baye Michael, congratulations to Siminalayi Fubara, who now sits properly as Rivers governor. It is no longer time for the fight, but a time for the happy Rivers people to breathe fresh air, even as they now want to see the developmental steps he will take for all. I wish he will every 6 months, like 12 months, so okay, he said, I wish he will see every 6 months like 12 months, so he stretches himself and everyone in his team to do the work of 8 years in 4 years to imprint his name in the heart of the people. That's most important. Did he say it's a spiritual problem? All these things that are happening are man-made. It's not a spiritual thing. It doesn't even concern God. My name is Innocent. All right. Someone just sent me the name Festus Keyamo. That's the aviation minister, and that's what I was looking for. Thank you very much. And this one says, "Good afternoon, Canada. Although personally I would have preferred Tony to win at the Supreme Court, I think that would have given Rivers State and Rivers people to start on a completely new slate. At least it will not be a surrogate of Wiki and will be able to make decisions independent of any orga. Notwithstanding, now that Sim has won at the Supreme Court, I will advise him to focus majorly on unemployment, tourism, and years of neglect for local government civil servants." Olivia from Port Harcourt. All right, thank you very much, Olivia. Let's read some more messages and let's see. The phone line still beeping there. I will get to it very shortly. This one says, "The planned relocation of key government establishment to Lagos State is not a bad idea if we have a government that is genuine, but because we live in a country where government policies are influenced by politics and ethnicity, I condemn it and can only endorse it if the headquarters of major oil companies are brought to the Niger Delta." All right. Another person says Festus Keyamo is the aviation minister. This one says, "For equity and good governance, I think the Nigeria capital should be taken back to Calabar as the first Nigeria capital." Thanks from Perez Aya. Well, you see, Perez, the reason why Abuja was chosen as capital was because of its central location. It's somewhat centralized. It's not to the north, not really, and it's not to the south, not really. So think about it from that angle. This one says Abuja can be messed up with the government operational activities. Abuja is an administrative ground and not a commercial or operational place for some government agencies. You will see that more of the agencies will move to Lagos. Okay, Pastor Alfred Datubo says, "For me, the challenge of governance of Rivers State has not been to me the Supreme Court, but the Rivers State House of Assembly versus our governor." Okay. Emeka from Rupoku says, "Good day, Canada. Nothing special. Supreme Court has no choice. They have to follow current trend of affirming all INEC rigged elections, in as much as over 90% of all 2023 election results were rigged to avoid troubling the calm waters." Emeka, all right, that's your take. And by the way, yes, Emeka is pointing to the fact that the Supreme Court upheld the governorship status of the governors of Taraba and Sokoto State. Let's see this one now. Greetings, Canada. Since we are in the era of relocation, I agree that the multinational companies' offices should be relocated to the South states. The leaders of these states should push for it. I think it is the biggest structure for us all, since jobs will be created and IGR boosted. Lagos is a state in Nigeria. A lot of things are already in Lagos. Nicholas Erasmus. I mean, the messages are still plenty. I can't read all of them. I've got to go back to the phone lines because I've got 10 more minutes left. And after that, it will be time for the business news. But before I do, let's quickly look at some of our interactions on X and let's see what we have there. Let's see. Okay, it's loading. Once I'm done, I'll go back. But let's just take this call. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome on the show. What's your name?
Thank you very much. My name is Rick. Location.
Okay, you're at location, I guess. Welcome. What is on your mind?
Well, I will tell you. First, let me join others to say a very big congratulations to my governor. Not my political father, anyway.
Okay.
I want to say a very big congratulations to him and the Rivers people on the Supreme Court verdict today. At least we will sleep now, we will rest, so that we will not say the goat that was pregnant has been delivered. You understand my point?
Okay.
But on this other issue, talking about the issue being spiritual, even though they tell us that the spiritual controls the physical, do you know that the sound of the bicola in the mouth does not signify sweetness?
Okay.
So, sometimes it's you, the physical, that will control the spiritual, because what you want, Bible says that what you want or what you ask for, God will give you, no? So, for me, it's not spiritual. spiritual, but physical, and not just physical, man-made, unfortunately, for selfish reasons.
I think it's psychological. I don't know if you agree with me on that one.
Okay, if you want to go in the logical form, I agree with you, psychological, and also add this thing to it, logical.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much. Let's take this call. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution. Welcome. What is on your mind? Tell me.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, Canada.
Yes,
We are from Port Harcourt.
Oh, Sophia, welcome then.
Yeah. All right. I want to believe that tomorrow onward we can see some changes.
Some changes like
Because of that, the leader is busy in his place of assignment. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Wike is very busy. So I think the governor will have enough time to consider it. But you know what? I think the 100-day strategy has worked for the governor. So I hope he will continue to consider the civil servants in his first tenure in office.
Okay.
So that's my take.
All right. So
Thank you.
focus on the civil servants, I guess. Hello, your name, your location, your contribution.
My name is Jude Bani. I'm calling from Muma.
All right, Jude Bani, welcome. It's good to have you. Let's talk, please.
Yeah, the Supreme Court ruling confirms the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara.
All right.
I think everybody in Rivers State, majority of the people in Rivers State are very happy with that ruling.
Are you sure it's a majority? We don't have that statistics.
I said, okay, many of them.
Okay.
Many of them are very happy because many Rivers people have come out to give me support before this ruling came up today. Many Rivers people have found their support for whatever reason. But my problem is with the governor himself.
Okay.
The governor himself as a governor of a state.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Explain.
I'm coming.
I'm
if
listening.
he sees himself as the governor of the state, he shouldn't be taking directives from either the president or the FCT minister. He does not report directly to them. He's a governor, and the president is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Recall, Wike spent 8 years, his predecessor, and did not visit Aso Rock. And Buhari gave him or named him the project governor without visiting Aso Rock. Now, I am worried with the assertion he has made, thanking especially the president and the minister for their role in his victory. Quote, whatever role they might have played, Rivers people and Nigerians do not know, only Siminalayi Fubara knows. We think his victory is just what he deserves.
All right.
So he should see himself as a governor. Keep away from these people. All political parties in Rivers State, we give him the needed support.
Okay.
People of Rivers State, we give him the needed support for him to succeed. But if he continues to parley with these people, Rivers people will show him, will tell him that they are Rivers people, not in a pocket of one individual.
All right then.
That's what we are fighting.
Okay. All right.
So when I see yourself as a governor of Rivers State,
Okay.
detach yourself from the president and the FCT minister. You will have more support than you ever
All right
had.
then. All right. Thank you very much. I've got to let you go now, Mr. Ubani. But let's look at this one. It says, Kalada, man of the people, Supreme Court affirming Siminalayi Fubara's election is a testimony of the leader of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, who picked him and supported him in all ramifications. I want the governor to always be grateful to his boss and pray against the spirit of ingratitude. Secondly, relocating CBN and other agency to Lagos, to me, is tribal. The president should mandate all the company's headquarters in Lagos to relocate relocate to the Niger Delta. I am Sylvester from Ibiyeomie in MOR local government area. Okay, let's take this one. It says, Wisdom. I get Wisdom J. I've read your message on Facebook. Equity, justice, and fairness is practicable. I wouldn't have bothered about capital location or relocation, but going by the country I find myself, it is important. For God's sake, Lagos is already overpopulated now. Don't these politicians think liberation is far from us? It appears we think with our caudal, I hope I pronounce that right. I've never seen that word before. Okay, caudal bones instead of the brain. Okay, let's move on now. This one says, though same President Tinubu wanted to make Lagos the new FCT, no, it isn't possible. Is that what you're trying to say? Through mere relocation of headquarters, the designation of any geographical area in Nigeria as FCT is a constitutional matter. However, I think they want equity in the redistribution of the headquarters of MDAs, which I support. NNPCL headquarters should be in the Niger Delta. Ministry of Agriculture should be in Benue or Adamawa. Ministry of Water Resources should be in Kogi or Benue or even the Niger Delta. Humanitarian Affairs in the Northeast. Ministry of Commerce in the Southeast. In fact, the various federal departments and agencies should be headquartered in very close proximity. I mean, close and proximity are the same thing, but I get your point. To the operations, Michael from Okrika. But like Zion said, it's a constitutional matter. You know, it's not something you could just wake up and all that's supposed to be positioned or headquartered in Abuja, so we don't really get the fan thing, but you know, they are arguing for operational purposes. I've got to go. It's time for the business news. I'm sorry I can't read all of your messages. Trust me, I had a plethora of messages today and I can't read all of them and I can't take all your calls, but we'll continue the conversation. The open season, do not forget, it comes your way after the news at 6, the major news at 6, so do stay tuned. Up until then, keep listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On your top station, the conversation never ends.
Let the person walk, we will vote him. You see, the person doesn't have to even tell us to wait for the godfather to take him again.
You carry your file entering where? Who won't give you job?
But I mean, some people have succeeded.
Guys, it's your girl Sharon Oja from Flossom. It's 4 p.m. and you better start getting ready for the new Showmax app coming soon. Visit showmax.com now.
Set your time on Nigeria Info, the correct time.
Track with Nigeria Info.
And PFN, the Stone Bishops.
Talking about Mourinho and AS Roma. Paulo Dybala has joined forces with Mourinho.
And then so the aviation workers also want to join the strike.
More access to all the top stories and more.
Let's talk.
And now the business news.